Hi, I'm really happy to be talking to you today. I'm Ruth, a concerned parent to two young boys who has been striving to improve air quality in our primary school. I'm also a Green Party member in Bristol who is campaigning hard generally for improved air quality in schools. My background story is that our 2-year-old son was diagnosed with leukemia, which is a blood cancer, in 2019, just before the pandemic. This required him to have intense chemotherapy for 8 months and then maintenance chemotherapy for 3 years, where he could attend school if he was well enough. I think this is surprising to people. They don't expect children that are this vulnerable to be attempting to attend in-person schooling. During this time, if he developed any infection with a temperature of 38, he would have to go to hospital within an hour to receive antibiotics and would usually stay a couple of days, maybe more. This obviously makes attending school in an unmitigated pandemic a difficult prospect for these children. In September 21, all the children in the UK, including my older child, had to return to school with no mitigations. COVID cases go untested and are allowed into the school. It was at this time that I started digging into what could be done to make school safer for my family and look for answers beyond the government messaging of hands, face, space, and went down a rabbit hole of engineers and ventilation solutions. I started gathering some of my own CO2 data from the school to prove that there was definitely a problem. It has revealed to me just how poor the air quality is in schools generally. 5 years ago, I didn't think twice about sending my child into school. I assumed naively that the safety of the building would not be in question, that somebody more important than me would have sorted it out. A mechanical engineer, a ventilation specialist. Turns out there are no standards. There are guidelines into air quality, but they are not good enough. It needs ultimately legislation. During winter, when the windows were not opening at all because it's cold or were broken and didn't open for a week, the CO2 was up at 3,000 ppm routinely. It should be below 800, which is what is recommended by the British Council for Offices, which are obviously where adults linger. It's especially difficult during bad weather when the kids are not leaving the classroom at break time. High CO2 is a proxy measure for risk, as it indicates the buildup of aerosols from people breathing and talking. It's also not good for concentrating, which is what we want for children to be doing in school. Better air quality has shown to deliver better exam performance. In 2021, schools were given CO2 monitors, which cost the government £25 million. But this initiative has been poorly run, with limited training available for educators and no facility for externally collecting the data from classrooms. The outcome is that the air quality in schools is not routinely assessed. In reality, CO2 monitors are not present in classrooms any longer. It's also too easy to fob you off as a parent. There's no accountability, so they can just waft you away with, we'll keep an eye on the CO2, it's fine. The ultimate solution is for the new government to commit to auditing school buildings and investing in ventilation systems. But the immediate solution to improve air quality is to roll out portable air filters to schools. For the last 2 years, I've been building and maintaining DIY air filters around our primary school. I spoke to other parents about air quality and managed to engage some into assisting me in building filters too. Then I told the head teacher that I spent all my money on air filters. He wrote me a letter of thanks for supporting the school and gave me £1,000. I used this money to put 3 big filters into each of the 2 school halls. I've been having ongoing discussions with my local Green councillor, who is keen to support what I've been pressing for at my school and beyond. I've also had meetings with the head of sustainability and environment at Bristol City Council, who's committed to a new indoor air quality strategy, which will include schools in its remit. I'm also working with Bristol University and PhD aerosol students into a community science project with local schools. In the summer, my children gave Carla Denyer an air filter for the Green Party head office, Greta the germ gobbler. I hope she's being used to keep Green Party staff safer at work. I just want to finish with a couple of pertinent quotes. This is Professor Kath Noakes from Leeds University, who conducted the Bradford Class Act study. Underlying illness absence was reduced by more than 20% in schools when air cleaners were used. They do make a difference. And Professor Beggs at the current COVID inquiry, portable air filters, they're cheap, easy, we know they clean the air. We need to know where we should be putting them to get the best effect. I want to see safer air arrive for the children of Bristol and beyond. For families like ours, this is an issue of accessibility and inclusion. we must encourage a new culture of stopping sickness, walking through the school gates, and engineer our school spaces to be safer for everyone.